kitchen sink drain. The reason that's 2" is because, well, it needs to be 2" over there. But normally this would be 1.5". But code says you can't go over 5 foot on 1.5" without reventing. But you can go 8 foot on 2" without reventing. This is 7'5". So that's why I ran it in 2" across, pushed it down to 1.5" right there. Center of my sink will be right here. Set it 3 inches to the right. That way your garbage disposal will tie into it correctly. All right. Then it goes over here, drops down, goes into the basement, the 1.5", pushed it to 1.5", which goes up into the attic. This is a vent line, that's all it is. So your drain runs through here and the water runs down, this vents it. All right. If I would have run this an 1.5", I would have had to come over in here somewhere and come up above the flood level and go across and hook it back in and revented it. But since I run it an 8", you don't have to. Code here says you have to have at least 1 3" going out the roof. That's what this one is. This is a vent line. This is a 3" vent line. This right here is our drain for our bathroom sink. All right. This is also a vent line. That's why this Santee's in upside down. So it's like this. The reason this is 2" is because this is venting the toilet right there. You have to have a 2" vent for the toilet, or at least a 2" vent. So this is nothing but a vent line. This is a drain down here. This is a vent up that ties into this vent, which goes up through there, cuts across to my 3", which goes up into the rafters. That 1.5" over there goes up next to it, and they are tied to, the 1.5" ties into the 3" in the rafters, then goes out the roof.
Okay.
All right. Main drain. Clean out tee. All right. 3" up. Why this one goes over, cuts across through here. Eventually it goes straight over and catches the toilet. This one goes over here and goes up. This is that 1.5" drain upstairs for your sink. So your sink is going to drain through here. Toilet's going to drain through there. This right here is that 2" that goes up. That 1.5" is tied into. This is my vent for my toilet. Okay, it's a dry vent. Some counties will allow you to do wet venting. This county won't. It actually dry. You have to dry vent, so that's why that's in there. All right. This is my 3". This is still a drain right through here. After it gets to this point and goes up, that's my 3" vent that's going all the way through the roof. This goes over here, which catches the bathtub. Now there will be a P-trap right here, you know, for the bathtub. This is for testing purposes. This one cuts over, goes over here, goes up, it catches my kitchen sink.
So this here was the stuff that was too dark for us to see earlier, which that goes to the ice maker and the refrigerator.
No,
correct?
This is your kitchen sink.
Oh.
This is your cold and your hot for your kitchen sink. This goes over there outside for your outside hose spigot.
Well, that's right. You confused me because you just said kitchen sink over there, but that's because the drain goes through the wall for a bit.
Drain goes through the wall, right? That's why your kitchen sink drain is right here, but the water supply is over there because it cuts through the wall and cuts over.
Okay.
And the reason I put all this up in here is so you got still got your ceiling height through here for your eventual room you want to build down here. Everything is up in the ceiling or in the floor joist, whatever.
Better look at the
This right here
with 2 lights.
It's called a test ball. What this is, it's a balloon put this, you air it up to 30 pounds and it swells up inside here. And it stops any water from going down here. That's a mission band. That's how I had to tie it to the black iron, the cast iron, excuse me, the cast iron pipe. And you air this up, and then when we fill the system up, if you remember that piece of pipe that went out and stuck up for no reason off the bathroom vanity, that's for filling it up for testing. Then this one over here, let me turn your light around this way. This is my other one.
Just a second.
Washer box goes down, hits a trap, cuts over, goes over there and dumps into that one. Once again, 2-inch pipe, I can go 8 feet. Any further than that, I would have had to put a T in here, come up and cut across and revent. But as long as I stay less than 8 feet, I can do that. This is for future, you know, because there is a spot for a toilet here. So this will be a future bathroom. That'll be for your vanity later on. That's the same way with these up here. These are your water lines for future bath. It's gonna just be a toilet and a sink, and that's it. There won't be no shower, no bathtub, no nothing. So there's a hot for your sink, cold for a sink, and cold for a toilet. Frostproof right here. What that does is the old style hose spigots, actually the seat where they shut off was right at the valve. So what would happen is they would freeze up and they'd break in the wintertime. You have water spraying everywhere. So what these do is they've got a tube. Your seat is actually back in here. It's got your handle that's turned off has a long shaft in it that's inside this housing, and your actual rubber seat that shuts it off is back here, not way out there. So when you shut the water off on your hose spigot outside, this tube from right here all the way out to the edge drains out. So you have to mount these so they have a little bit of a downhill pitch. So when you shut it off, all the water from your water stops right here inside the house, so it won't freeze. You just have to remember you can't leave a garden hose hooked to it with a spigot on the end of it or something, or else it'll hold the water. To soldering uphill to where it looks nice and neat. It doesn't run all down the damn pipe. So when you clean this and you flux it and you heat it, everybody knows you heat from the hub. You heat high on the hub, and when you hit it with the solder, it'll pull up. It pulls towards the heat, and the flux makes it flow. Okay? But what happens is when you heat this up, all that flux you put in there runs down the pipe. When you're heating it, you can actually see the clear liquid running down the pipe. Well, your solder is going to follow that flux down the pipe. It's going to be a mess. So you heat this up, have a dry rag handy, reach up there and wipe it off like that, heat it some more, you'll see some more of that coming down, wipe it off like that, then hit it with your solder. It'll still pull up, and if anything runs down the pipe, it'll just flake off because that flux isn't there anymore to make it cling to the pipe.
Nice.
That's pretty much all of the plumbing, right?
Sure.
Of course, that vent over there that stack over there, that vent goes all the way out the roof on its own too. Which is 2-inch all the way up, because you can't run 1.5-inch vent out of roof. It's illegal. It has to be 2-inch. You can actually run that 1.5-inch all the way up into the rafters and then bush it from 1.5-inch to a 2-inch, as long as the 2-inch goes through the roof.